Vande Purushottamam. Sri Thakur was born in Himayatpuri village of Pavna district of British India, which is now a part of Bangladesh, and Pavna is situated on the bank of holy river Padma. His father Shivachandra was an honest, simple and straightforward and pious man. He was an extremely kind-hearted man who always tried to reach out to the needy people. His mother, Mata Manamohini Devi, was a woman of great personality. After meeting her, Mahatma Gandhi remarked, I have never seen such a masterful woman in my life. Sri Thakur was born in the 12th month of his mother's pregnancy. It is said that at the birth he was smiling and looking around brightly at the world, having no hair on the head and extremely bright light in the home. The extremely bright light in the home when Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra was born made the villagers, fishermen, come rushing from Padma river, thinking mistakenly that there was a fire.
Now we are going to say in detail about the Krishna idol incident. When Sri Thakur was 11 months old, Manmohini Devi took him to Umesh Lahiri's house in Haripur. Umesh Lahiri was a conservative Brahmin and had an idol of Balagopala, Lord Krishna, installed in his house. On the day of the visit, he had been sitting absorbed in meditation for several hours, as he was accustomed to do. But today the meditation was broken by the sound of something falling. In wonderment, he saw that the idol of Bal Gopal had fallen to the floor, and that on the throne of the deity was sitting the boy Anukula Chandra, sweetly smiling and with radiance effulging from his whole body. When Mother Manmohini scolded her child, he replied in innocence, Why does he call me then? At this, emotion in Umesh Lahiri became uncontainable and tears flowed from his eyes. On this day, his worship had become meaningful. His life had become blessed.
When Sri Thakur was 11 months old, Manamohini Devi took him to Umesh Lahiri's house in Haripur. Umesh Lahiri was a conservative Brahmin and had an idol of Bal Gopala, Lord Krishna, installed in his house. On the day of the visit, he had been sitting absorbed in meditation for several hours as he was accustomed to do. But today the meditation was broken by the sound of something falling. In wonderment, he saw that the idol Bal Gopal had fallen to the floor and that on the throne the deity was sitting, the little boy Ankul Chandra, sweetly smiling and with radiance engulfing from his whole body. When Mother Manmohini Devi scolded her child, he replied in innocence, Why does he call me then? At this emotion in Umesh Lahiri became uncontainable and tears flowed from his eyes. On this day, his worship had become meaningful and his life had become blessed. In the class, teacher was teaching 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Boy Ankul Chandra cannot understand how 1 plus 1 can be 2. They may be two ones, but not definitely two. He stands up and asks when two things are never seen alike, how 1 plus 1 become 2. He was severely beaten for asking a stupid question. He could not understand why he was punished. The teacher could not comprehend the philosophy of monism inherent in his question.
Rescue of a Muslim brother who was stuck and hurt during thunder. One tropical stormy day from school, 8-year-old One tropically stormy day from school, 8-year-old Anukula Chandra started running out of classroom through the bamboo groves while heavy hail was hitting him. Protecting his head by textbooks, finally spotted at the side of the road, an old blind man had fallen into a deep ditch. The water was flowing so fast that his feeble strength couldn't resist it. At that last moment of his life, he remembered Almighty God and cried out, Allah, Allah. But his cries were gradually dying away. Don't be afraid, I am here. So saying, boy Onikul Chandra jumped into the stream, grasped his hand, and lifted his shivering body. Holding tight to boy Anukula Chandra's hand, the old man sobbed, Are you my Allah? Who else is there to save me from such a plight? Who is he? Only he knows. What can we call him who mercifully comes to save one's life in response to a helpless call? In trance, he once said, Sound of your call must reach me because I am sound. Taking the old man by the hand, he led him home.
Holding tight to boy Ankul Chandra's hand, the old man sobbed, Are you my Allah? Who else is there to save me from such a plight? Who is he? Only he knows. What can we call him who mercifully comes to save one's life in response to a helpless call? In trance, he once said, Sound of your call must reach me because I am sound. Taking the old man by hand, he led him home. One of the most impressive demonstrations of his unparalleled devotion to his mother took place on the day of a final examination in mathematics. On the day of his mathematics examination, he was a little late and his mother scolded him for this, saying, You won't be able to solve a single problem. He hurried towards the school and reached in time. In the examination hall, the invigilator found him crying. On being asked, Ankul Chandra said that he could answer all the questions, but if he did, his mother's word would prove false and he could hardly let that happen. The teacher stood stunned, utterly dumbstruck. The boy returned the answer sheet blank nonchalantly. However incredible this may sound to others, he had such strong sentiments towards his mother that he could accomplish all this with simple hearted innocence. Even when he grew up, these sentiments towards his mother remained strongly pulsating in him. If anything could budge him a little from his own stand and decision, that were his mother's word. Once, when Sri Thakur was quite young, he caught the sole of his foot on a piece of glass. It was bleeding profusely and he was in great pain, so he told his mother that he could not go to school. But Mother Manmohini Devi said, "It is nothing, go to the school." So he went, thinking that if his mother said it was nothing, then there could be nothing to worry about. That night, Mata Manmohini Devi found that boy Anukul Chandra's foot was badly swollen and wondered how he could have gone to school without worrying about it. But his devotion to mother was such that her words were everything to him, and she was no less than his existence.
His friend by paying his own school fees. He was going to deposit He was going to deposit fees for sitting in entrance school final examination. On his way, he met a classmate who was sitting quietly on the roadside as he couldn't arrange to get money to pay his fees and would miss the chance to appear in the examination. He gave his money to the classmate, and his mother couldn't arrange for the cash again for him to pay the fees. So that ended his school examination. A true example of a friend in need, a friend indeed.